Well, it's time now for another interview with the person standing for the vacant position of MLC. Of course, there's 5 of those going. And John Skinner is with us now. And of course, John, you've gone for MLC before and more recently MHK. So clearly you've still got that political animal within inside yourself, you'd say?
Well, I've tried it before, Paul. As you know, I was in the George Waft, Alan Crowe election. And obviously went out there in the first round. And one of the criticisms that was levelled at me was that I didn't have any political experience up to that point. And it was felt by certain members that I should go and get some. So I stood in the general election of 2011, and I stood against some formidable opposition in John Shimon, Jeff Corkish and Chris Thomas. And obviously Jeff and John were elected. So Chris and I went off and we both stood for council. I stood in Murray's ward where I topped the poll, and Chris Thomas stood in St George's ward. And then when Jeff was elected to Legislative Council, Chris stood for Douglas West as it was then, and I stood against them again. And as a result, Chris got in. But I still carried on and I still did my council work. Okay,
so what makes you this determined to try another time then to get into politics, national politics?
Well, it's never give up. And if I'm enjoying what I do on the council, I've learnt a lot from being on the council. There's a job to be done, and I'm putting myself forward to carry on with that job.
And obviously you'll have to resign from council if you get in and that sort of thing. Do you see it as a full-time job though?
Yes, I do actually. Obviously the council is part-time, but yes, I'm aware that this would be a full-time. Although it's not that I need a job, it's a job that needs doing.
And if for any reason this doesn't work out this time, I mean, will that be it? Or do you think, at what point do you think, well, it's not going to happen? Or will you be standing as an MHK, for instance, if that opportunity comes up?
Well, never say never, Paul.
Okay, how do you view the position? What do you see an MLC doing?
Well, it's you've heard it trotted out so many times. It's revising and scrutinising body. Yeah, that's what it is in the main, and assisting MHKs in the work that they do within the Keys and Tynwald.
And £1,000 a week sounds quite nice.
Well, as I said, Paul, Jill and I have a very nice lifestyle. We can do whatever we want virtually whenever we want. I don't actually need a job. I want to do a job.
Do you see the positions up there disappearing? Would you vote for the old turkeys for Christmas sort of thing? What's your view on the MLC's role in the future of Tynwald?
Well, everything's up for debate. Everything's up for revision. And as I said, I see the role of the MLC to revise, to scrutinise, and again, as I say, to help the MHKs with the work that they're doing in different branches.
Now there's 5 positions, of course, going, and as we record this, the numbers go up and down slightly, but there's about 1 in 3 chance, isn't there, looking at the numbers that you could get in. I mean, is that good, bad, and do you feel that you've got a good chance?
Nothing's certain in politics, is it? I think the maximum number of candidates that can stand, now it's gone to 5 vacancies, is 25.4 candidates.
You've done your maths.
That's if everybody nominates seconds and dissents. There could be a maximum of 25 candidates.
And have you had trouble? I mean, or was it easy to find people to back you?
No, it wasn't easy. You've obviously got to convince people that you're worthy of the nomination, and that and people have the confidence to assent for you.
Now, is there any particular point you're standing on? Because obviously the hustings will take place in front of the MHKs where you get a chance to pitch. How will you sell yourself?
Well, I'm a detail man, and that's my main thing. It's, well, is there anything you can change on your own? The way I look at it is that you go in, you work with others, and if there's something crops up that you believe in or you feel passionately enough about, is to try and convince the others to go along with you with your views. But mainly, I see it in some ways as a supporting role.
There's obviously some big decisions that are coming up before the House at the moment. I mean, the abortion one, of course, jumps out. Do you have strong views on things like that, or will you just go with the flow?
I wouldn't say go with the flow. I'm sort of, despite what some people think, I'm my own man. I will make my own decisions. But in making my decision, I will obviously talk to many other people on both sides of each argument as it crops up.
And have you been into the chamber much? I mean, do you follow the politics in that sense? Because obviously, you know, you're one that has your own business to do with Douglas Council, for instance. I mean, how much time have you been able to put to thinking what goes on nationally?
Well, you can follow it. I mean, it's if you come to this house on a Tuesday or third Tuesday of every month, Tynwald is always on the radio. People say I get quite boring because when I have my coffee in the morning, I'll sometimes switch on the parliamentary channel, and it's amazing the things that you pick up, what's going on in select committees over there, and it just helps you see the world differently, really.
So, all being well, you're pretty confident, and your backers are there. This must be, I'm sure you're feeling this has got to be your time. I'm pressing on that because, I mean, you have tried a few times. Do you think this will finally be it, though, really?
Well, it's fingers crossed, and I'd like to think so, but I'm not so presumptuous as to think I'm going to walk straight in.